Okay, welcome to this Wednesday, October 24th, 2024, 6 p.m. meeting of the Select Board. I've called the meeting to order. I will note that CTSB TV is broadcasting this meeting live tonight. I'd like to ask if anyone else is recording this meeting from the audience. Could you please identify yourself so that you can hear?
Oh, Clarence Phantom, Berkshire Eagle.
Anybody else here recording? Okay, thank you. Greetings to our folks coming to us through the OWL here. Thank you for being here. So now that we've called to order, Ed, I'll ask you to read a consent agenda. These are items that Deanna had ready to go for this meeting.
Okay, I'll do that, Mr. Chair. The consent agenda. First, we have a one-day all-alcoholic request. Haley Barberi requests a one-day all-alcoholic liquor license for October 26th, 5 to 11 p.m. at Benford Hall, and a certified bartender is present and all the paperwork is in order. We have a donation acceptance request. The Fire Chief Chris O'Brien requests permission to accept two donations in appreciation to the fire department, totaling $275. We have a donation acceptance request for the police department. Chief Steve O'Brien requests permission to accept one donation in appreciation for the department, totaling $25. And we have a facilities use request for the auditorium downstairs. It's getting a lot of use, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Berkshire Box Society requests use of the Town Hall Auditorium November 9th, 5 to 9:30 p.m. for a music performance, a film, and discussion. That's the consent agenda.
Okay, I heard no holds.
I'll make a motion we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to the primary reason for tonight's meeting. We have received a open meeting law complaint. The complaint was dated October 11th, the night that we met for deliberation on town candidates. It was received by town on October 15th. Deanna forwarded it to me last Saturday. I forwarded it to each member of the Select Board. Deanna and I both stressed not to reply all to that, but so that you'd be familiar with the request. And has everyone read that?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the requirements? In addition to the actual complaint, there are requirements per the AG's office. In addition to rectifying the agenda in question, sorry, this is not two-page like mine. We're going to need a response to the AG that KP has drafted. That's included. Each of us, although we have done it recently, I assume, will need to go through open meeting law training with the AG's office. The next available training is next Wednesday the 30th. I've already enrolled in that. It looks very much the same as what I completed in June, but we do each need to do that.
Okay.
Will do.
And that's just on a website we go to and sign up for a particular class?
You can find it if you go to mass.gov and just in the search field put open meeting law training, and there's probably more direct links.
Okay.
Any comments from KP Law there?
Good evening, Mr. Chair, and thank you for having me. Apologies for my hoarse voice. If I may just provide some context on this, which might be helpful for the board. This particular violation is a technical one, but it's also easy to resolve. And that's what brings us here tonight. The requirement that names be listed on the agenda when you have known candidates for a municipal position is actually not in the text of the open meeting law. It's not in the regulations to the open meeting law. It's an interpretation of the open meeting law that the Attorney General has made through a series of decisions over the years. And so you would really only be aware of this if like me, you spent your day reading open meeting law decisions, which I trust most of you don't do, and that is where this comes from. So I think it's a great thing to sign up for the open meeting law training, and tonight, what we're basically doing with the board's approval is saying to the Attorney General, we understand this technical rule, we're going to comply with it, and in order to do that, we're going to reconduct our previous meeting. And under the rules that the courts have established, that is how you can cure a violation and move forward. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions about that process?
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Okay. So we have acknowledged our open meeting law request. Dina, did you prepare a revised version of the October 11 agenda?
So it is actually the, this is just the revised agenda.
Okay, so number 2 and number 3.
Do we need to vote to rescind the previous vote? No?
I don't believe you do, Mr. Chair. Typically what we do in these situations is we reconduct the meeting. Of course, if the meeting goes in a different direction, then we may look to do that. But typically when we reconduct meetings, the outcome is the same.
Do we need to get through discussions about the candidates right from A to B again, or can we just go with what we voted last meeting?
I would recommend you do the discussions, and the reason for that is the case law on curing a violation really says that you have to make a good faith effort to redo the meeting. And so if you were to just say, here is my decision, hypothetically, there could be a member of the public out there who only was interested once they saw the candidates' names on the agenda. And so the AG would say that member of the public has to have a chance to see that deliberation in full.
Makes sense.
Okay, well, go ahead, please.
I think first we need to move to allow KP Law to respond, correct?
Oh, yes.
Right. So I'll make a motion, we allow KP Law to respond to the open meeting law complaint from Patrick Higgins dated October 11th, 2024, and received by the town October 15, 2024, against the Select Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Ed. Okay, well, that will bring us to general business, or continued general business, where we will discuss the final candidates in the sense that we are going to repeat the process that we conducted on October 11th at 5:30, or beginning at 5:30. We knew at that time that we had 2 candidates presented to us. The third candidate had previously dropped out and accepted another position. We also were notified by interim town manager that the background checks had been completed for all 3 candidates, and we were then and will now discuss the 2 available candidates, which include Nick Kakamo and Jay Green.
I'll start it off if you want. 2 great candidates. I like them both, actually. Nick, I liked, he's younger, get some newer ideas, maybe, that kind of thing. Little lacking in the experience field, and that's why I went with Jay. I thought the experience he has from, or actually running a town very similar to this would help. He did his homework, he knew our budget, he knew all the intimate details of how our process works. He's watched our select board meetings, our town meetings for a year. He's been doing that. He's done his homework, he knows what's happening in the town. But there again, I don't want to take anything away from Nick. I think he's a great person, and he's got a good future in this business, no question about it. But just for the reason I stated, the experience level and the homework he did, I go with Jay.
Thank you. Do you want to just go in order?
Sure.
I think that's what we did before. I would echo Ed's comments. Dave, who can't be here, well, sticking to just who's here tonight, I believe both candidates presented very strongly. They both have excellent experience, different experience, and I also found compelling about Jay that he had not only worked to watch town meetings, select board meetings of our town for the year prior to his application, but he also has a working relationship with Chris Ketchen, our former town manager who moved on, and I felt that Jay had a better handle, if you will, on getting ready for the budget process that will begin once we get through this and prepare for annual town meeting in the spring.
Likewise, I felt that both candidates were very strong candidates, and I was certainly appreciative that they took the time to go through the process with the selection committee. I did feel that Jay Green was not as experienced as I think we probably need at this time. I think looking at the next 5-10 years of the board and all the projects we have, I don't know that he's quite ready to jump onto that, but he's certainly a very qualified candidate.
You mean Nick?
I'm sorry, Nick. I mean Nick, yes. Good Lord, thank you. Nick, the younger gentleman. Jay, I am in favor of and will vote in favor of. I will say that I think he's got a lot of experience. I think he's going to do a great job. I think he can step in and handle budgets, and he's certainly had experience handling projects and getting them completed in a timely fashion. My concern with Jay was that he did make 2 comments about being tired in the interview process, and I feel like there's still a lot of work to be done here in Lenox, and that did concern me a bit, but I will be supporting Jay.
And I found them both to be very, very competent candidates, both very highly qualified, as they're both currently town managers. I found Nick Cacamo's education experience to be a positive bonus on his side. He's also got a master's degree in public management and regional planning, which I think is particularly well suited to the town management position, whereas Jay Green's experience is formerly as an attorney, which lends itself to another level of understanding of Mass General law and the processes that one goes through as a town manager. But I like the fact that Nick's experience includes him having completed a $9 million public safety project in Williamsburg. I thought that was a strong thing. We're doing a public safety project here. Yes, ours is twice as big, but as Nick mentioned, he really felt that his experience would just be a matter of scaling his experience, and I thought that was a very thoughtful consideration of his experience. I was a little also taken aback by the fact that Jay Green said that he was exhausted by doing 12 years worth of work in the last 6 years, and I'm sure that was an offhanded comment, but it kind of took me back a little bit. As well as the fact that he mentioned that he hated the budget process, which as a total nerd myself, I find the budget process to be about 25% of the job, and to me that's an important part of the process because you really learn about what all your department heads need and really learn to balance the priorities within the town based on the funds available, what you're looking at for your tax levy in the coming year, and so I found that to be a little off-putting to me, but clearly both candidates are well qualified, and so while I might come down on the side of Nick Cacamo, Jay Green is certainly very well qualified to take this position. And I also liked his experience with railroads. I thought that was a very interesting addition to his resume. So I found that to be interesting.
Do we need a roll call vote?
Is there any more commentary that any of the 4 of us want to make?
I think I'm good.
Did you make the actual motion?
I did, no. I'll make a motion that we accept, or we go into negotiations with Jay Green for our next town manager. And this will be a roll call vote.
We did the last time, yes.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, Ed Lane, aye.
Neil Maximilian, aye.
Max Scherf, aye.
Mary Beth Metz, aye.
Okay. We'll call Jay and one.
Let's see, let's check in with KP Law again.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the board for going through that process. With your approval, which we now have, we will send a letter to the Attorney General, and in the letter, I'm going to include a link to this video as well as to the agenda that the Chair and Deanna have prepared. So the AG will be able to see in full that the board has cured this technical violation, and they will issue a determination that may take a number of months. But the key fact here is that you've done the work now to cure the issue and move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the final motion is make the offer. And I think you need to move that. I will say that there has been other, help me out here, Dina, but HR and other folks are asking questions about contract language and things like that. That we can wait in due time. This is simply to make the offer.
Formally make the written.
Yes, I'm just clarifying that, so there's no misunderstandings here.
So I'll make a motion that we begin the process to make a formal law between the town manager and our human resources director Lindsay Pettenot. We make a formal notification of an offer for the position of town manager to Jay Green.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Absent anything else, I think we are safe to adjourn.
For this week. Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.